Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back once again to Space Engineers.
I just wanna be never say I am. Not call it anyone else. Not falling into a rain. Just like you think I would do. I just wanna spend some time with myself. I'm not texting anyone else. I'm not falling for someone else. Yes, I come back. Yes, I come back. Yes, I come back. Yes, I come back. Yes, I come back.
Yes, it is cause for celebration. You join me once more atop the Starfish for some sick dance moves because yes, my children, it has finally happened. Space Engineers 2 is here. It has launched. It's on Steam. Go check it out right now. It promises to be incredible. Now, we were not involved in the initial launch, which is why you have not seen any content from it by me just yet. Sorry, content on it by me just yet. I'm so excited, I can't even speak. Now, the reason you haven't seen that is twofold. First, we weren't exactly invited to the launch. We are what you may know as a brand risk. Interjection. Hello, it is Miles from the future, which is your past, but it's my present. This is going great. We're gonna play Space Engineers 2. That's the announcement. Magic and I, two brothers in space again, together live tomorrow. That's right, yes. Okay, unless you're watching this in the future, in which case it was likely yesterday, or the day before that, or several days before that, or even perhaps a year. I can't control time as much as I try. It slips away, doesn't it all? Anyway, you're gonna play Space Engineers 2. You'll find a link down in the description below. This will be a blind playthrough, or blind stream, rather, a first try for both Magic and I, and if you'd like to see us check it out and backseat us till we quit, go ahead and click the link and get waiting for it. Love to see you there. Okay, back to the episode. And second, I was also riding around the Philippines on a motorcycle on the day it launches, so that was pretty cool. Here's a photo. So, the question now becomes, do we abandon this playthrough and play some SE2? I'm gonna leave that up to you in the comments down below. We're far from done here. My mission is yet to end. We could also just pause our time here with SE1 and pivot to some SE2 content. It's entirely up to you, my beloved audience. Let me know what you want to see. Regardless, what you're going to see today, whether you like it or not, is some sweet Starfish action. That's right, that's this bad boy over here. So, the Starfish is, well, I mean, it's something. It's definitely one of the ships of all time. We did most of the greebling and design last time. I've gone it in and sort of filled in a couple little bits and pieces. As you can see, I put these little like triangle bits in between the blocks. That's very interesting, I'm sure. And I've added cameras everywhere. In fact, there are cameras in all directions, 6 of them in total. I tried to put them as far forward as possible, as that is what the script asked for. That's right. This is at the beck and call of the machine, the blessed machine. And that machine, you may ask yourself, in this ridiculous little cockpit over here, all designed just to fit this camera on top. What is that machine? Well, it is twofold. I have added an additional programmable block buried deep within the bowels of the ship. I believe it's on the left over here somewhere, for those of you printing these, and also another one over here. This one is going to run Izzy's ship refuel script. I've actually already installed it just to make sure it does work. I've added it to our script list. All of these are going to be on that list. If you haven't seen it on the workshop, you know where to go now. I want to find text panel. I guess we'll put Izzy's refuel on the left. That just seems like a good place to have it. I love that build info outlines this. And I think we need to type that. Yeah, ISR main. I got that off the workshop page, by the way. So ISR-main will, and then the script will automatically hijack the text and rename it to Izzy LCD. But there you go, on our left-hand side now, we have the ship refueler script running strong. Very nice. Now, the next thing we're going to set up today is Sam's autopilot mod. This is a fantastic autopilot that I've never really gotten involved in. I was always a big Pam guy, a Pam believer. I have been told that this one is a little bit better. And I mean, better is a strong word. It's more flexible. You don't have to fly your ship to its final destination in order to make it work. And for me, for a guy like me, that's quite important. Because PAM, the previous one I worked on, PAM, or Path Auto Miner, I think, and what we saw in Season 1, requires you to sort of manually plot the route and then the ship just follows it. This allows you to send ships to connected connectors in a network, which is super cool. So let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to call this thing we'll call it the Cargo Drone PB. And I'm going to tag this Sam over there. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the code. Where is it? We're going to edit. We're going to browse scripts. We're going to refresh. And the reason that was blank is I have actually tested this before so that I didn't just stumble my way through this, making life significantly easier for everyone's favorite mushroom. Everyone, round of applause, please and thank you. Okay, so we've gone ahead and loaded in the SAM Autominer. There is an updated version. This one's quite old. Maintained by a community member. I'm deciding, I played around with the bits, but I didn't need the advanced features for what I'm doing here, so we're just going to use the basic one. They all involve timers, and I'm too stupid to do that. The one thing I do want to change is the max speed setting over here, the first line in the configurables. Well, I suppose it's not the first line, but it is one of the top ones, and it's currently set to 95. That's 95 meters per second. I want to bump that up to, let's say, 250. And the reason for that is that the distances involved between these asteroids are just huge, and I really want to cut down the travel time. I think the approach speed being under 100 meters per second, given how, bad our thrust is on this thing, is pretty good. Our taxiing speed, where we're sort of taking off slowly, being a max of 10, seems very sane, and then a max of 2.5 for docking seems good, because that's below the damage threshold. This is where the approach mode kicks in. I'm going to bump that up to 800. The taxiing distance, I think we can do 10 meters is fine. The panel distance, that's more for path docking, which we're not going to be using. The dock distance will be 5 feet, that's fine, and undock will be 10 feet. Okay, perfect. I think it says, I don't think feet is F. That's not correct. Don't listen to me. All right, so let's check the code. It compiled successfully. That's wonderful. We hit OK, and as you can see, saying there's no dock selected, and we need to use the config menu to set it up. This is pretty easy. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the Starfish 1 connector, and we're going to add the SAM tag to it. I'm going to intentionally make it lowercase, because when I hit enter, there you go, the script should hijack it and rename it capitalized. That just lets me know that it's working. And then we've got to do the antenna. Now, there's two ways we can do this. Either we can just add SAM to the text right here, or we can do it in the custom data, so we don't mess with the name. And I believe this works. You go SAM and then sam.log. That is what I was told by the YouTube video I watched in order to make this work. We also need to max out the broadcast radius so that we actually reach out to the various other antennae I've set up out there. I have gone to each of our auto mines and set up SAM on them. I'll show you how we do it on the banana stand. It works the same. It's a bit different for stations and ships. Okay, so the first thing we want to do now is just look in closer. I want to set up the center panel, which is this one. This is going to be our main script, which we're just going to set to SAM. It should hijack it. It does not hijacked it. Oh, because that's the public title. That's not what I meant to do. I'm supposed to type it here. Okay. It's 800 hours in this game, by the way. All right, there we go. And as you can see, we've got a new screen up and running. Very cool. Now that's going to be able to switch between the navigation screen and the configuration screen, the basic SAM one. I do kind of want the nav screen always up so I know what's going on. So I'm just going to add another one here that says SAM nav, and that'll just keep the nav screen up on that panel. We won't be able to interact with it using the script. That'll only happen on the main screen, but this just allows us to see it. And the last thing I want is the log. SAM log. Now you should do this on a wide screen, so there's going to be some cropping, but it's okay. I'm not too fussed about it. So as you can see, it's found some text panels, it's found a camera, it's got the parabolic antenna. It's all looking great. All right, lovely. Now one thing I do want to do is go ahead and I need to control my ship, which we'll do from here. There we go. Now I'm actually in control of the vessel from the passenger chair. I can't actually control the script. You got to go through the remote control. It's a little bit confusing, I know, but don't worry about it too much. what we're going to be doing with this is having a look at these commands here. So these are some of the basic commands you can add to the script. If you have a look on the workshop page for the script, there is a guide that explains them all. But basically, I'll just run you over them. I'm not going to run you over them. I'm going to explain them to you. The first two, previous and next, just move up and down the configuration screen. Number 4, which is set to screen, will cycle the screens. Number 3, selects the option on that screen. Add adds a dock. Remove removes docks that are no longer visible. Toggle sets us our navigation mode on and off. Clear storage just kind of clears out the all the buffered stuff that we're not using. And clear log clears out that log screen at the bottom, which is actually what I'm going to hit right now, because I want to make sure that antenna configuration is working. So we're going to go into here, we're going to clear this out. All right. And then we're going to add it back in. I just want to make sure that this does actually add it to the log. Sam.log. So we should see Sam pitch up over there, especially if I recompile the cargo drone PB. There we go, found one parabolic antenna. Well, parabolic A, at least. Now what we're going to do is cycle our screen to configuration, and you'll see there are 4 listed antenna ports. These are the ports that our ship can connect to. In fact, I kind of wish this was widescreen. Yeah, hold on, give me a second. I'm just going to redo these screens a little bit so that they fit a bit better. Is there really no small wide LCD? Are you kidding me? This is the best we can do? Okay, is this gonna... Hey, look at that. We can override the side. Okay, apparently, according to the game log, OVR, to override size, will work. And look at that. It did. I think the main one can just stay small. That's good. But you know, why not? Just give me this. Give me a man after midnight. I'm a simple lad. And then I think on this side, rather than the navigation panel, I think I'd actually rather have the config, which I believe is Sam Conf. Is that right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, oh, and that one I want to override as well. I think you just put override in all of them. Yeah? Why not? That one didn't work? Nar. Can I make you smaller? I can make you a little bit smaller. There. That's what we need. Okay, it's a bit tiny, but you can now see the names. Perfect. All right, so on our configuration screen, finally. Oh, I need to now control the ship. Hold on, there's a lot of steps here. On our configuration screen, finally, you can now see a list of antennae, and those are the 3 mining stations, plus a bonus one for the iron. I don't know why that's there. It shouldn't be. We could probably hit 6 and remove it. Never mind. No, we can't. Don't be ridiculous. That is a ghost signal that I can't seem to get rid of. Whatever. So what we need to do now is set up a route for this drone. Let's say I want it to fly to the Alpha mine, which is AM Alpha FE. Auto mine dock, that's the connector we want to send it to, but then we need to give it somewhere to come back to as well. It's not as simple as just sending it on its way. Oh, it's also not as simple as accidentally grinding off the edge of your ship. Don't do that. I am obsessed with this plastic armor skin, by the way. I mean, again, things never said by stormtroopers or men, but I'm in love with it. I think it genuinely looks so slick. And now it looks slick in the right places too. Lovely. Okay, that was probably driving someone crazy. Yeah, Spun, looking at you. That is a reference to a different video. That is a reference to Station Ears episode, I want to say 23. Yeah, maybe 22. They're the specific kind of viewer. I gotta stop greebling, man. I have not earned the budget for this, but oh, wouldn't that look sweet? Little blue, 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 blue. Don't tell me what I can and can't do with my body. Okay. What am I doing? Ah, yes, setting up the banana stand. That's right. We got to give our drone somewhere to go back to. Now, we don't have connectors set up for this, and I think that getting them done is probably going to require a time lapse to get a whole bunch of it. But for now, we can just do the basics. As you can see, the spectator cam is somewhat preoccupied at the moment. Let's go ahead and grab as much steel as we're going to need. We need to just hold on to this connector so I don't accidentally detach it. And then I guess we go down a bit and start building our docking ring. I kind of want them fairly equidistant. But I don't want them too close to you, do I? So maybe like we can start them docking over here. So I don't want them too close to this rock. So maybe maybe we wrap this around a little bit, go down a bit, go down a bit, go down a bit to like over here. And we can anchor connection points to the rock as we go, and we can use that to expand into like further interior facilities. People did say they really want to see this turned into like a proper habitable space. I couldn't agree more. I think it's going to look insanely cool, but we got to work towards it, right? The boundaries of Rome were not arbitrarily designated within a day. Okay, you got to stick with the program here. Okay, so that's sort of the rough idea I'm going for. We slap down a few of these, and then I think we kind of just... I think I want maybe like... Oh, 9 resources, maybe 9 ports, but for now, 5 will do. So I'm going to get these welded, these ones, and then we'll kind of branch it off a bit further. Or maybe we do a bit more designing first. Either way, I think this is a suitable place to slap in another time-lapse, just to cut down on the amount of cut in between our beloved shroom has to do. And I'll see you guys in a second when we actually get this stuff set up and working. Okay. What is it about every single game I play very quickly becoming a Windows 7 screensaver? It's Stationeers, not Space Engineers. SC2 is not going to be any better, I can tell you that much. Jamers, this is this is straight up just it's the pipe maze, isn't it? Anyway, I love it. I love it. It's a little goofy, but I promise you when it's bristling with drones, it's going to look kind of cool. At least I hope it will. I think the addition of some gantries, kind of like scaffolding all over the place, running around, will make this look even awesomer. So let's actually get some of those set up. Massive waste of resources and time. What can I tell you? This is one of my favorite things to do in this game, and it is quite possibly the least impactful. That's how you know it's a good sandbox. Okay, there we go. Only the third major minor distraction since we started this episode. Oh, now we're out of energy. Wonderful. Okay, so I've gone ahead and renamed all of these connectors. They are now named the BS 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th drone connectors. We're actually technically pretty close to the 10 we need, but I'll take this for now. They've also all been tagged with Sam lowercase. The reason, again, is once the script kicks into action, I'd like to see that change. Okay, so now what do we need to do to set up the station end of the SAM script? Sorry for that minor distraction. I like this game. I kind of just like making stuff in it, so I forget that I'm supposed to be making a video frequently. All right, if we head downstairs, and by downstairs I mean sideways stairs, and by sideways stairs I mean on our right over here, we're gonna set up Sam's autopilot manager. It's actually not loaded yet. And someone suggested this, I can't find the comment, but we should use the automation programmable blocks in this space. They do look way cooler, I agree. Izzy's is running on this one, and this is the Sam one. They work exactly like they used to, it's just, you know, a bit better. So this is going to be our autopilot PB, and we're going to tag that with Sam, and we're going to say Sam advertise. And this is really important for stations. You have to add this advertise tag, because what that does is it tells the script, hey, tell all the drones out there that I have connectors and that they're available. That's really important, okay? So we're going to go edit. We're going to browse our scripts. We're going to pick Sam over here. We're going to copy that to the editor. We're going to check the code, okie dokie, and say okay. Lovely. We don't have to mess with the speed settings. That's only for ships. Okay, cool. So Sam is running. Now, what do we want? Oh, you know what we need? We need a log LCD. That would be super handy, and it needs to be a widescreen one as well. I need to know how the script is doing, what's it's found, all that sort of stuff. Although, actually, you know, now that I say that, we actually now know it doesn't need to be widescreen. Oh, you know what? Yeah, because we could just use the override function, right? Oh, now, hold on. That would be kind of sick to have it in the corner, wrapping around. No, I should just get the LCD. I should just get the LCD, shouldn't I? Yeah. Okay, I'll be boring. Okay, so you in the back rooms here, you are going to be our Sam. Oh, we'll put this here. This is going to be our autopilot log. I'm going to tag that with Sam log. Oh, actually, Sam override log so that it fits the space. There we go. So you found the LCD panel. You got all 8 connectors and the antenna. Awesome. So that's actually all we need to start the base up. In order to set that antenna live, though, I need to go to said antenna banana stand and head into its custom data and do the same thing we did before. So sam.log. I believe that is the correct text. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. The real test will be if we head up to our drone over here. And our drone has the connectors available, all 8 of them listed, then we've done something right. I hear it going beep, 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 beep. It do be going beep, 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 beep. That's probably the sensor just triggering though, right? Hey, look at them. There they all are. The banana stands in plurality. We have them all. Okay, so now we can actually go ahead and set this thing up. So let's go ahead, take control. First thing I want to do is just make sure that our cargo drone spacing is all right. So let's just make sure here. We've got 250 max speed. I left everything else, and we've just changed the approach distance slightly. Okay, cool. So let's check that code, recompile just to be sure. It's running beautifully. Okay, very nice. I'm going to snap a blueprint of this right now before I get too frisky with it. Oh, Control B. That's the one. Okay, so as you can see, I have taken copies of it previously. This is just that's an older version, which actually didn't work as well as I wanted to. I think it's F10 to bring that up. Yeah. So I'm going to delete that one, and you, Starfish cargo drone, you are going to be Starfish drone Sam, and we're just taking that blueprint so that I don't mess this up. Or rather, in case I mess this up, we could reprint it or something. The sensor we've got on here is, and the O2 H2 generators are actually vestigial. We don't need these at all. I'm just gonna leave them in there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it works. I think probably when we go to production. This is definitely our 1.0 drone. This is gonna be that's all gonna be removed. We don't need to see that. I think that's pretty much all the stuff I want to see. I do want to see my refuel script. And I guess that's it. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and finally now actually dock this thing. And, oh, actually, you know what? We don't need to dock it. Let's try and do this with our drone script. So I'm going to fly off over here. It's going to be face in the distance. I want to change one thing, which is to grab my cargo drone PB. Where it says add, we're going to change the argument. We're going to say add stance. And the reason for that is we want to add it in such a way that we fix the orientation. I'm not going to be manually adding these just yet. This is just going to be something like if we want to manually add a connector, we will use that feature. Okay, so now I wonder which connector is which. That's actually a great question. I should probably name these a bit more logically. How are we going to do that? How are we going to be clear about which LED we have? Well, we actually have these emissive strip things we could use. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the correct number. Over here we have L for loser. Sorry, I meant Lucy. Lucy. I just got to make sure I have actually named these all. That is the 5th one. Okay, great. I don't think I did this. Is this the 4th? It's the 4th. Wow. Is there anything he can't do? Maybe it's name number 6. His name number is name number 6. Look at that. The 6th drone connector over there. And then, of course, finally, the 7th. And that does mark a pretty major milestone, because now not only does our base look cool as hell, and we can of course continue this scaffolding around here should we want more drones or maybe patrol drones. This doesn't only have to be for cargo after all. We can expand that as much as we need to. But enough flying around. That's for peasants. No, now we set up the rest. Also, I need to do one more thing because I'm very silly. I need to change the grid name on this thing because the banana stand is far too long. We're going to call this BS-1. Okay, there you go. It's all BS from here on out. Okay, now we can finally play the game. Okay, remote access, control. We're going to hopefully see this thing come into dock now very nicely. So let's set our screen on number 4. Then we go in configuration. We're going to add... Well, actually, hold on. Now I'm thinking about it. I want that one panel to not be config. I want this to be navigation so I can see what I'm adding. That's why I had it set to that. Well, now I know. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so I want to set my first one as being... Let's go to the first drone connector. Okay, we're going to set that. And then I want you to fly to the second or the second. Ooh, I don't know which one I want. Maybe let's go to like the 7th one. Okay. And then let's go ahead and hit toggle. And we should see this thing fly there. And oh my god. Oh my god, it's actually doing it. This is insane. I didn't think the day would come. So let's see if these cameras work. We're very close to Lucy, of course. I don't know if the collision avoidance is going to do its thing here. There's only one way to find out. Oh, and I just noticed the damn camera, the time-lapse camera's framing has been just off this entire time. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Hey, okay, we've docked. All right, very cool. Now what? So it should wait like 10 seconds and then move to the next one, I believe. Navigation is currently disabled. I think that is because, yes, Izzy's ship refueler has taken over. Okay, now we just got to wait for that to happen. We can also edit that ourselves. So under navigation, which is currently disabled, we can change what we do here. So we can say at number 1, I want you to charge, and then it'll kick over to the next one. I want you to charge and unload. There you go, charge and unload. That's what we want to do. Ah, yes, there's one more piece we need for our puzzle, which is to minimize all this, find the cargo drone PB, okay, and we're going to change the code in here to be a loop. And we want that basically to just fly back and forth between these two forever. That's what we're telling it to do. So let's go ahead and re-engage our navigation. So we should see it sort of navigate back in. Izzy's ship refueler, of course, is participating in the charging behavior, which is great. We've got the 2 scripts running simultaneously. And that's mostly just to switch the batteries to auto, to recharge. Otherwise, the ship will kind of just wait there and hope that they get recharged. Now, of course, if there was a particular orientation we wanted to come in, we would have to re-add this connector using the stance command. That's what we added to number 5 in our hotbar. Let's see if this works. Okay, we've connected in. All right, we've immediately unloaded because, and I'm assuming that's because we're charged enough. We're over 90%. I think that's the default. And we have unloaded. All our cargo containers are empty. So now we should see it move to number 7. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it avoids Lucy. So it'll be very interesting if it manages to. Okay, it didn't go the wrong way, which is pretty cool. We are upside down. So orientation does matter. So if you have a really convoluted layout on your base, you are going to want to use the stance command. For us, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is that the connector faces towards the base and that nothing else hits it. And I think I've spaced these out enough for that not to be a problem. I think number 4 might need to move over a little. We'll see. All right, cool. So this is already docked there. And now we hit one of the bugs that you do run into with this script, which can be a bit of a problem, right? Which is that, as you can see, it's trying to push us into there, but it hasn't realized that we are actually connected. And the reason that has happened is because of a problem with my design. The center of mass of our ship is right over there, right? And my remote control chip is forward of that center of mass, which is not good. So I actually need to move it over the center of mass, because that way the ship will have a better idea of where it is. As you can see, we're kind of in this weird limbo right now, which does happen, unfortunately. And I don't know how you kick it out of this behavior. Except maybe to turn it off. Manually lock. See, now it's stuck in docking. Yeah, I think we might need to redesign this a little bit. I'm worried the Starfish might not actually be able to make these connections reliably, which, you know, if it can't automatically do it, then it's not doing it. One thing we could do, though, that I think about it now, is to turn down the connector strength. Don't want to use for parking, by the way. Let's take it down a little bit in the strength. Oh, you know what? Let's do some tests. Let's push it up by, let's give it like double strength. All right, it was able to clear some distance. I think we might want to back off a little more. This is the testing phase of the setup here. I think we might want to back off a little more. Which is the undocked distance. This one here. I think we probably want to go back to like 50 meters. I think. Yeah, and we can probably start the docking process at 15 meters. Let's go ahead and compile that. It shouldn't break the navigation command. Oh, it will. Never mind. We got to turn it back on. Okay, yeah, we got to reset it. That's totally fair. I want you to go to the first one and then the 6th one this time. And then we go back to nav. And on this screen, I want to say at first, I want you to charge. Yeah, just charge. Okay, let's send it. Okay, so it has backed off, which is great. So we're coming straight into first. Okay, so it touched tips. We very gently docked, but did not do the actual charging cycle. I am assuming that is because the batteries are over 90%. If it doesn't work, we'll just have to figure it out, right? Okay, but we are backing up very nicely, very nicely. So this is now the undocking distance. I don't think this is a bad thing. I think getting a good amount of clearance is probably a very good idea. Okay, so now he's going to turn and fly. And which way are we going? We should be going to number 5. Did I say 5? I said 6. Okay, we're going to number 6. Okay, lovely. And then at number 6, I want you to charge as well. So this thing is set to loop, so it should now go back to number 1. Okay, it undocked well. Maybe putting the connector strength up was the right call. It's kind of like slamming it in, right? Making sure we're getting that connection. All right, very nice. Now, there is one thing we can do to improve the battery behavior. We can add a meteor storm. No, that's not what it is. We can add, there we go, this string right here. Sam, empty equals 20, full equals 80. What's it basically doing is it's saying, hey, if you're over 80%, I'm going to consider you full for charging purposes. I'm going to do the same thing here for all of these, but I'm going to bump them up to 95. So now when it docks, we hopefully see it connect. And then stay connected until Izzy's script has enough time to set it up. Let's have a look. Come on, Starfish. Come on. Hey, there we go. Okay, so now we're recharging. Battery's full in 10 minutes. You're joking. You're yanking my chain, mate. Is the reactor off or something? It is. Turn it back on. There we go. 3 minutes. That's more like it. Okay, so now we're at 94%. You can see on the left-hand side with Izzy's refueler. If that hits 95, this thing should undock. If that works, we're Gucci. Oh, and I suppose we can test something else here as well, which is to set this to be... whoops. I want this to be charge and unload. There we go. That's the setting I want this to be on. So it should be both empty and charged. We were at 94.9%, which is fine. I've got some stuff in here. I'm going to chuck it in the containers. There we go. So now there are items on this ship. So we should see it pull in. We should see it unload and then leave. So we should see Izzy strip that out. It's going to charge the batteries. 95% charged. 95.1. At what point is that going to consider this full enough? Because it's currently waiting. We have unloaded. Oh, And we've left. Perfect. There we go. Okay, I guess there's just a bit of lag time. Amazing. We have a fully automated drone. It does absolutely nothing of value right now, but that is a problem to solve in the next edit, because I'll be back. I'll be back.
Tomorrow.
Okay, next day. Hello. New me, better me, worse me, actually. I'm unfathomably hungover. This was exactly what I looked like all night in the club last night. It was tragic, it was awful, and honestly it was probably something for not for the history books, but perhaps, or for a very specific kind of history book. One that recounts international tragedies. Regardless, we're here to play space engineers, not have fun. So let's go ahead and figure out what we're doing with this here drone. I've done a bit of testing, and by a bit of testing, I mean I sat here and watched it dock with things for about 3.5 hours. Also, what went on last night. And I've encountered a few problems. The first being that most of these docks work just fine. The ship can get to them, it can connect up, there's no issue. 1, 2, 3 work great, as does 7 and 6. 5 and 4 are a bit less perfect. In fact, that they're complete garbage. So I've reconfigured 4 already. I've compressed it quite a bit, but occasionally the solar panels will clip the edge of this here. This banister, whatever you want to call that railing, and that is a problem. And for number 5, same thing. If it comes in completely straight, it can dock. If it comes in at like even slightly rotated, which will eventually happen, it's going to hit this stairwell. So I think we'll leave these docks there. I like their placement. I like them aesthetically. We don't need the space right now, but we may either reconfigure them later. Like if we just move number 4 out a little bit, it'll be fine. For number 5, maybe we could move it up a little bit, or further to the right, or move the staircase to the right. I haven't decided yet. Either way, it's not critical. I do like the way it looks though right now, so probably leave it there for the moment. Now, let's go ahead and get this thing set up. I want to actually set it on a proper voyage, so we're going to try this. So we're going to go to the correct screen. I need to take control of this ship. This would have been so much easier if I'd just done this with the cockpit from the get-go. But this is the test ship. This was the one, this is the one that was meant to make it all work for us, and that's great. Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to show you was this. I figured out, or not that I figured out, someone told me, and I can't find the comment to credit them, that you can just turn these distance for friendly, enemy, and owned antennas to 0. And if you put them all to 0, my HUD is on. There's no signals. We're not being overrun anymore, which is really nice. I think I might still turn on the enemy signals, just because Reavers terrify me. But you see, now it puts on the civilians. Okay, so apparently everyone who isn't us is our enemy. Understood. I see how it's gonna be, game. Fine, I'll fight in the dark. Speaking of Reavers, I don't think they're actually broken. I think we just haven't hit their threat threshold yet. I was thinking about the first Space Engineers series we did, where we just had Reavers coming at us all the time, and I think that is a function of their AI. I don't think it's something we need to worry about right now. I think we're still too small. They will come for us soon. I think we're getting close to the threshold. We're not there yet, though. Alrighty, so let's go ahead, clear the log on this bad boy. There's one more thing I wanted to do before I actually set this up, and that is to blueprint the ship. The reason I'm doing this again is I want to now put it into the actual drone as a projection, and then blueprint that, and that's the one I will eventually put up on the workshop once this is all working. I'm also going to leave the O2H2 generator in there. It is unnecessary weight, but it does mean you've got some ice on hand, which can be pretty handy. Should you need it. And it also kind of just aesthetically fits better, doesn't it, to the ship, and that's what matters. Okay, give me the projector. This is going to be fun. How close are we? Hey, we're pretty close. Honestly, I've seen worse. What's that going to be? Horizontal offset. You got to keep the projection. I always forget to do that. Okay, then try this again. Copy to clipboard. Okay, have we done it? If I were to grind off this piece. Hey, there we go. Okay, lovely. So now the projection is saved on there. So now I just blueprint the blueprinted blueprint, and it'll all work. And oh look, there's my cute little legs. Look at them, aren't they lovely? Okay, blueprint that. So that's going to be our Starfish cargo drone. Blueprinted. As for the name of this drone series, I'm going to wait before I put it up on the workshop. I want to make sure that it's actually functional before I put it out to everybody, which means there's more time for suggestions. I have been reading them all in the interleading days between starting this recording and now, and I must say there are some really, really good ones out there. There were some really good ones for this thing as well over here, and I'd like you to please continue submitting suggestions, because there were some absolute bangers back there that I'm just gonna leave them there for the moment, and I'll wait for your feedback. Okay, but enough edging. Let's do this. Let's go to the iron mine with this one. So I'm going to add Dock 1 as our first point of call. Okay, we'll select that. I selected screen tonight. Okay, Dock 1, and then the iron mine. That's going to be a select. Okay, let's switch screens. Dock 1, okay, it's saved, it remembers the charge and unload setting. That's awesome. But just on Dock 1, all we want to do here is load. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to charge there because we don't reliably produce power. We're just going to load. Just want to make sure that the cargo containers on this do have... Yes, they do have SAM pre-installed. Okay, excellent. That just means that SAM's going to track their fullness. It'll wait till they're at 100% before it sets it off, which means it'll charge on its own with Izzy's ship refueler. It's just, the script won't wait for that to happen, which is good. Okay, so I believe with that done, I'm going to go ahead and hit a save, just in case this breaks everything. And we are going to press 7 and toggle on navigation. Okay, hands off the wheel. I'm not touching anything right now. And let's see where it's navigating to. It is currently moving. Okay, we're going to Alpha. All right, Auto Mine Alpha. Now, we did set the speed limit to be, what, 250? So let's see if this thing accelerates past 100. Okay, we're approaching 100 meters per second. We've passed 95, which was the threshold. We passed 100. Excellent. The script is adapting. Okay, lovely. Let's go ahead and turn on that GPS marker, which I believe was this one, Mining Station Alpha. And I just want to see how it handles speed control. Okay, we've already started decelerating. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Okay, we're at 70 meters per second and closing quick. That is a bit scary. Not gonna lie. Okay, it's approaching the mining station from the wrong part of town, which is a concern. Let's see if it figures it out. I'm not gonna intervene here. I want to see how it performs. If this doesn't work, we'll have to switch over to Path Autominer, PAM, which is the one I'm more used to using. But it seems to be figuring it out. I think this is where the cameras are coming into play here, right? It's kind of looping around the asteroid. Let's just see if it tries to drive straight through it. That's that's why we hit a save. I'm curious. Okay, kind of crazy though. It did find the connector. Do you think it's using the cameras to spot him? That would be insane. If it's using like image recognition in the Space Engineer script? No, there's no way, right? Like, there's no way. Okay, I do note he's accelerating right now, which is not really what I'd recommend. Oh no, oh no, uh-oh, whoopsie, bad. Well, that's not perfect. Where you going, Haas? Where you headed, bud? What's the plan here? That's probably not. No, we lost the top camera. That's definitely going to be a problem for orientation. Hey, it did arrive. It did arrive at the location. Shit, we might have to put some welders next to these things so they can repair them. I wouldn't call that a flawless navigation. I wouldn't say that was perfect. It wasn't terrible. Like, it wasn't the worst I've ever seen. The bar is admittedly pretty low in this particular case. Okay, let's have a look. So we're filled up. We are now, of course, missing our top camera. Never forget it. So let's see, is this being pumped into the SAM cargo? It is. Yes, slowly but surely. Filling it up. Okay, so 27k per container, which means this thing can pull 100k per trip. And it moved quickly. Okay, clearly something's wrong with my camera setup. I think that was part of the problem. It was navigating stupidly. Maybe having the cameras behind... I know, the script did explicitly say, it was like, you have to put the cameras as the last thing, like, sticking out of the block. So maybe I need to build these little, like, little buckles that stick out for each wing. So that way it spots them a little better. I initially did that just so I could fit it over the seat, but I think maybe that might be necessary. Okay, but it does look like we have disconnected. We are undocking. It appears to be stuck. Okay, aligning. Navigation disabled, navigation aligned. Okay, what's the plan here, Chief? It just blew up a cargo container, didn't I? What's going on? What's going on, Haas? What's going on? Navigation off for a second. Oh, that's why it didn't leave, is because it didn't have the thrust. We are accelerating. Okay. Fairly unsurprisingly, that was a bit of a dud, wasn't it? I think we need to reconnect here. Okay, it's kind of moving now. He's moving. I think the physics engine just goofed. Yeah, he's moving. He's rotating. He's doing stuff. Hold on. Let's not give up just yet. All right, let's sit back in the chair. I think the physics engine just straight up gave up. And that's why I couldn't move. So let's try this again. Let's lock and undock. Okay, we're locked. Give it a wiggle. Oh, nope. Okay. Try that again. Give us the old college wiggle. Okay, definitely need more thrust though. This thing's not gonna work behaving like this. Alright, I'm going to let you go now. Let's see what you do. This is an experiment after all. Aligning. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, boss. I don't know what to tell you. That is not a safe passage. Oh, that's hey. Okay, no, not quite where I would have picked, but it's better than nothing. Okay, you're allegedly navigating. I don't think this very, very mild twerk is what I would consider navigation. It is what I was up to last night. Sam has lied to me. Clearly, I've done something wrong. This is usually the default state for these things. Maybe we can add like a waypoint marker, like a GPS signal nearby it can fly to. I think I need to read some documentation. But I think we're flying this back au manuel this time round. What's 48 minutes of my life? Okay, so there is indeed a way to add GPS functions. It's the add GPS tag option. Okay, we can use the GPS name as the entry name. Understood. So what we need to do is, rather than like draw a path between the places, we need to put up like staging points where the drones can converge above a mine and then transition down to. That makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, cool. So basically it'll like quote unquote dock with the GPS marker and then rotate and fly down to its actual storage point. And at 10k a pop, maybe 110k because we have to lock them in, right? I think that might just be something we do. Very worth, and it also does kind of nerf the whole system a little bit, which is good. Okay, but we definitely need more thrusters on this thing before I can be like, yeah, this is a reliable design. I'm thinking maybe we just go up to the big ones. We're at 163 blocks, which I mean, there's a lot of greebling on here. I kind of feel like that's pushing our luck though, for with the rule set we set out. It says we're converging, but we are not converging. Also, I'm accelerating right now, and there is no acceleration happening. It's locking us in some kind of stasis. This is a physics engine bug. Something's going on with the physics engine, because a second I rotate, it snaps back into behavior.
Meteor storm inbound.
Oh, perfect. Why not? Yeah, why not just throw rocks at me, Apollo, huh? Why not just freaking fling the wrath of Ra in my direction? What have I done to deserve this? My starfish is on fire, my banana stand is covered in gantries, and my Lucy looks like an H-Wing from Star Wars. What do we have for battery power, by the way? 89%, okay. 6% to make the journey there and back. That's with all the thrust shenanigans. It's not too shabbo. Not too shabbo at all. Okay, so we got two issues to solve. First, GPS location. Second, the thrust vectoring issues. But that's, so I guess that's something we will be tackling next time. We'll also build a printer for these things so that we can do a bunch of it. This episode is going to be a little bit of a shorter one, of course. I hope you can understand with all the stuff. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and that you're looking forward to the next series of episodes. I'm going to get this thing fixed up. I'll get all the GPS stuff and the testing done before we start the next episode. So next time we can just... I'll have this thing running its route one way or another. Whether or not we use Pam or Sam, I don't know. I will explain my decisions and my choices and everything to you, though. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you to guess it, figure it out. Why are we not draining? There you go. Thank you. Okay, we've delivered 100,000 more iron to the base, which is definitely going to cover the cost of this expansion and then some. That is plenty. I really hope you had fun today. I've enjoyed making this. And as always, my gamers, Magic and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations and thank you. That puts you in the top 3% of viewers. Here's another video that YouTube thinks you're going to like, and here is a list of all the patron and channel member names. If you don't see yours on there, you can find a link down in the description where you can sign up and support this content directly. If your name is on there, well, you probably already know that, huh? So, what are you still doing here?